back to that night in question, which was April the 6th of 1994. I was playing well. I think we were 2-0 up, maybe 3-0 up, I can't remember. And I know that I'd scored one, I'd laid another couple on, or I'd at least laid another one on. And then the guy that was marking me, ironically, he was actually called Marker. He followed me into the centre circle and gave me a tackle that just smashed my knee to pieces. Not anywhere near within the laws of the game. He just sort of straight away. I mean, Gary Walsh, who was in goal at the other end for us, he said that he heard the snap. Sir Alex was actually in the stand, and the first thing that he did was, the parents sort of congregated in and around the same vicinity, and he grabbed hold of my dad, and he sort of knew immediately that there was an issue. And yeah, that was it. It was a damaged anterior cruciate. My medial had come away, my hamstring at the back of my leg. It was Jonathan Noble, who I owe a hell of a lot to, who was my surgeon that Manchester United used back in the day. He said that he had rarely seen, in all his 30 years, he'd rarely seen a knee that when he cut it open, he said it was like putting putting a book on its spine and just watching all the pages of the book just fan out to one side. He said it was just an absolute mess, that he had to completely and utterly start again and reconstruct it. He said the damage to the hamstring at the back of the leg alone would have taken 6 months to heal. It was that badly ripped. And that is the reason why a lot of the scars that you see these days for knee surgery are like keyhole scars, but I have a sort of 12 to 16 inch scar down the inside of my knee because he needed to open me up that far to be able to get round the back and repair the hamstring as well. So yeah, it was a pretty bad one, and that's why I say that when I hear his description and when you read the notes of what had actually happened to me, it was, sort of a bit of a minor miracle that, not only did I play football again, but actually played at a decent level, but was never ever the player that I was. When you're talking about performing at a Manchester United level, at an elite level,
yeah,
you need that sort of 5%, 10%, whatever it may be, it means a hell of a lot for you to be able to succeed at that level or to fail. And I was just never the same player. Do I blame him? Yeah.
Have you ever seen Nicky Marker?
No, I've never seen him since. I played against him once subsequently, but we were never on the same side of the field.
Did you shake his hand after the game?
No.
Don't
No.
blame me.
But there's no animosity there because, and the reason I say that is I can understand. I mean, you're not the first person to have said, if somebody had done that to me, I'd be like livid and I'd want revenge and I'd want this and I'd want that. I think the reason why I didn't do that, and again, I have to thank the people that were around me around that time, my family, my friends, the club, that you tend to find that if you go around with that much anger inside you and it manifests itself...
It can't be good for you, can it?
Exactly. You just end up, it just eats you from the inside out and it makes you become bitter and twisted. And I didn't see that would be any good.
Have you always been that way, though? Because since I've known you, the last few years that we've got to know each other, I'd say you're quite a positive, upbeat guy in general. So have you always been that way all the way through? Or I imagine you would have slipped into a pretty dark place.
Yeah, on numerous occasions. I mean, my brother, when, he was interviewed by Dan Poole, who I wrote the book with a few years ago, my brother said that after the injury, I was noticeably angrier than I ever used to be. And he's probably got a point in terms of he used to see me all the time. And there would have been times, that my family would have seen me in that sort of a place more than anybody else. But I think it quickly became apparent that unless I was prepared to put that out of my mind, I would just end up imploding.
And you were 18, 19. I think it's quite normal and natural to be full of a bit of anger at that age with everything that goes along with it. I think I certainly was at that age. So
yeah, And I think that I very quickly realised what had been taken away from me, and it wasn't anything that I'd done myself. It wasn't an act of stupidity on my part. It was the fact that, you know, somebody who had had enough of an 18-year-old kid taking the mickey out of him in a reserve game at 28, 29 years of age, whatever he was, decided that, you know, I wasn't doing it anymore, and he put pay to that. And that is something that I've forgotten about it, but I'll probably never be able to forgive.